There's a hard truth about life that most people never learn. The world doesn't move for pity, it moves for power. And power, my friend, isn't given, it's taken. But to take it, you need to understand one of the most misunderstood laws of human nature. Today, we dive deep into Law 13 of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, a law that can change your influence, your relationships, and the way you win in life. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you've ever been ignored, rejected, or underestimated, this law will shake you awake and give you a roadmap to command attention and respect. Let me ask you something. Have you ever begged for support, poured your heart out, and got nothing back? You thought they'd help because they cared, because you were kind, because you helped them once, but they didn't. That's not because people are heartless. It's because they're human. And humans, whether rich, poor, powerful, or humble, are driven by one force more than anything else: self-interest. Once you learn to tap into that, you unlock real power. You become magnetic. You become limitless. Robert Greene didn't pull this law out of thin air. He understood that self-interest isn't selfish, it's natural. People wake up thinking about their problems, their dreams, their needs, not yours. Dale Carnegie, author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, put it this way: talk to someone about themselves and they'll listen for hours. That's not manipulation. That's human connection. If you want someone to act, speak to what matters to them. If you say, "Please help me, I really need this," that's mercy. If you say, "Here's what you gain by helping me," that's strategy. Let me tell you a quick story. There was once a young artist in Paris who desperately needed funding for an exhibition. He went to a wealthy banker he had once praised in public. He said, "Sir, I'm struggling. I need your support. I've always admired you." The banker nodded and declined. The artist didn't give up. He studied the banker, found out he wanted to be remembered not just as a banker, but as a patron of the arts. The artist went back and said, "Sir, if you support this exhibition, I'll dedicate a gallery wall to you. The man who empowers rising talent. Your name will live on with every masterpiece." The banker smiled. He wrote the check. That artist? Pablo Picasso. That banker? Almost forgotten, but his investment helped shape art history. Lesson: stop asking people to feel sorry for you. Show them what's in it for them. Influence is a game of positioning. Here's how to apply Law 13 in real life. First, do your homework. Know what the other person values. Second, speak their language. Talk about benefits, not burdens. Third, make it a win-win. Never beg, offer mutual gain. Let's say you're starting a business. Instead of saying, "Please invest in my idea, I believe in it so much," say, "This idea taps into a $10 market, and your expertise could help shape its future with a strong return." Boom, you've shifted from desperate to valuable. You were not born to beg. You were not made to hope someone does the right thing. You were built to move with strategy, confidence, and intention. And when you learn to frame your needs through the lens of self-interest, you don't manipulate, you elevate, because people love to say yes when they benefit too. It makes them feel smart, important, powerful. And when you give them that feeling, you unlock doors that were once sealed shut. Sun Tzu once said, "He who knows how to motivate others gets what he wants." Napoleon Bonaparte said, "Men are moved by two levers only, fear and self-interest." But you don't need fear. You'll master self-interest. Because once you speak to that part of a person, the part that says, "What's in it for me?" and give them an answer, you become unstoppable. Look at the real world. Steve Jobs didn't just sell a product. He told people, think different. He made them feel innovative. Elon Musk doesn't beg for support. He paints a vision of a better future and says, "Join me and we'll build it together." Even politicians win votes not by asking for favors, but by promising value. Whether you're pitching, networking, or trying to get ahead, remember, appeal to self-interest. Always. If you're tired of being overlooked, if you're done with rejection, if you want to win in your career, your business, your life, then stop appealing to pity. Start speaking to power. Because people will only help you when they see what's in it for them. When you master this law, you stop being a victim of rejection, and you start becoming a magnet for opportunity. You don't need luck. You don't need handouts. You just need to understand the game and play it like a master. If this message hit home, if you're ready to shift from passive to powerful, smash that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to Limitless You, because this is just the beginning. Every week, we break down the laws of power, success, and mastery. And I promise you, the world won't know what hit it once you awaken your limitless self. Stay powerful, stay strategic, stay limitless. See you in the next one.